What is up with the world? You're watching the Armstrong Gaming channel. Hope everyone's having a wonderful day today. If you are, make sure to hit that like button, hit subscribe for any newcomers out there new to my channel for new content. Let's try to get at least 50 views on this video. Today we're going to hang out, play some Anthem on the PlayStation 4. Today we're going to be doing the settings for this game. I've tried to do a little research on this game, see if anybody's actually doing these, but you know, a lot of people aren't going in depth of what these actually mean. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. So you basically just go into the, when you're into the game, you just hold the touchpad, go down to settings by either L1 or, L1 or R1. Okay, so the general gameplay, this is basically your pop-ups, your tutorials, your pilot head bob, which I think is kind of weird because it basically says it simulates the head motions while you're out of your suit, which technically you don't get to see your head bob. So, this is your preference with this. I'm just going to keep it on default. Hide holstered gear, this is basically your weapons, your pistols, your semi-automatics, your sniper rifles. It's basically, it will appear on your Javelin. I basically have it on off because I actually want to see my guns. So those three are pretty much explanatory. Controls for generals. You got your inverts. If you play with invert, make sure you turn these on. Sprint mode, flight mode. Basically have these on toggle. If you hold it, it's basically you gotta hold the button to sprint or fly. But toggle is just basically you just press it and press it again to stop sprinting. So it's basically explanatory on the over here. Same with flight mode. Zoom mode is basically I would have that on hold. Press to zoom, press again to zoom out. I really wouldn't want to go toggle. Just put it on hold. Okay, so flight, takeoff, and aim direction. This basically, when you take it off, whatever directions you're facing is basically which direction you'll be going. So I have this on default, so there's nothing to worry about there. All right, so aim sensitivity, zoom sensitivity, flight sensitivity, and swim sensitivity. These are all on defaults. Okay, so don't worry about anything like I messed up with that. So I'm going to be doing this with you guys right now. Flight sensitivity and swim sensitivity. You're not really swimming a lot, so I will leave swim sensitivity on default. Flight is basically when you're, change the direction of your controller. Either it's L or L3, R3, basically how fast you could turn around with your character. I'm going to have that on default as well. Aim sensitivity as well as when you're shooting with, like I say, without scope. Is basically your gun, your dot on the middle of your screen will go fast how fast your sensitivity is. So I have that on 30. I am actually going to raise that up at least 70. That way I can actually figure out if I like 70. I have a choice either going down like 30% more than I would be going up. Zoom sensitivity is basically when you're zooming in with your scope, how fast that gun actually moves to that target. If target is over to your left and you're zooming to the right, how fast will it take your gun to get over to that right-hand side, left-hand side of that screen to zoom into that target. So zoom sensitivity is at 30. I'm going to drop that, raise that up to 50. Again, that is my preference. I can actually bump that up, lower it down. It's at half mark. Okay, so that is that. Audio, basically is, explanatory. The good thing about this now is bullet impact volume modifier is basically if you put this up, every time you hit a bullet on an enemy, it makes another impact volume, so you can actually hear that bullet hit that target. And default, it's at 0 dp. I'm going to put it at 1 plus 1. Speakers, I would have it on at least have it on headsets if you have a choice. But excuse me, I have it on surround, and I'm also going to use home theater as my sound preset. Okay, so VoIP, I don't know what this is. It's basically you enable your voice chats with other players. I'm going to turn that off because I'm only going to turn it on with my friends that play this. This basically right here, you adjust the silence detection value level of your microphone. So raising it will basically make a lot of people hear you louder. Lowering it will basically make people not understand you as well because your mic's basically silence. So make sure you keep that in mind. Video, graphic settings, brightness, basically how much your screen is. I have mine set on 75. That's my preference. Motion blur, honestly, I would disable this. I don't understand motion blur's existence, to be honest with you, because it just makes the game look crappy. Motion blur, it's basically, it says right there, objects in motion. I turn that off. All my video games, I turn that crap off. I don't need motion blur. Depth of view or field. Basically, like it says, it says change the weather distance of objects should remain in focus. Turn that on. Same with this one. Turn that on as well. Camera shake is basically adjusts the strength of camera shake. This is primarily used for fast movement and large explosion impacts. This is at 100. I'm going to leave it at 100 on default. So if I have a choice, if I want to, rearrange any of that, I can do it. So I am actually going to apply the change for that. Get out of that. Interface, your HUDs. On default, it's on conditional. Go always. You're going to be missing out a lot if you actually have it on conditional. It's basically for visual, for all your conditionals, for HUDs. This is your overall. Make that at 100. Leave it on default. Same with all these. Just leave it as alone. Like I said, all this is on default. Also, right here, exploration reticle style. I think on default it's on circle. I like it on dot. That's just my preference. Weapon reticle visibility. That is on off. I am also going to turn that on as well. Okay, so that, like I said, that is my preference. Damage floaties. This is how much damage you're doing to the enemy. It will tell you how much damage you're doing to the enemy. Turn that on. Damage type floaty. You can do all, or you can do critical. To be honest with you, I rather have critical than regular damage on an enemy. I rather see that number in yellow saying, okay, I hit that enemy for 100 crit. So I know where that sweet spot is for crit. Damage floaty, turn that at 100. Damage floaty size, I turn that on 80. I think on default it's at 50, so I'll turn it on 80. In-world UI, this is basically the NPCs of the game, all that. So like I said, that's on default. Keep it as is. Necessities, these are your language and subtitles. So this is exactly how you change your subtitle or your language. If you're French, you can go to French. I don't know exactly what language is in this because I speak English and my PlayStation is set on English. So, that is one reason why that's set. So, like I say, if you're French, Spanish, Russian, Chinese, Japanese, Korean, just make sure that your PlayStation is set to that language, and then go to your text language, voice over language, and then set it to that your language that you speak. Subtitles, turn that on. I like subtitles when I play my game. The size of it tells you right there. I can go long, or I can go medium. I can go small. Small, this looks retarded. Small makes me want to squint my eyes just to look at the title. So I like large. Basically pops out in front of me on my screen. Audio chat assistance, basically it says right there, open the game chat by speaking the pathway out loud while the game is paused. Option only available in English. I don't know exactly what that is. I turned it off. I don't know what that is. Okay, so if you're colorblind, this is exactly where you want to come into. You can change all the colors, which I kind of like purple. Like I like how that looks, but to me, it's really hurt my eyes just looking at that. I'm starting to get a little headache just even doing this right now. So I'm going to have it on no correction. So that is, like I said, if you're colorblind, this is exactly where you want to come into. Account, data sharing. I don't know exactly what this is. It's basically your privacy, cookie policies, and agreements, your usage sharing. Like I said, leave that on all default. Don't worry about that. So this is pretty much explanatory, exactly all these settings. A lot of people would just ramble on and shit. But let's get into a game so you can actually see exactly this kind of gameplay. Peeps, I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of gameplay. This is just showing you exactly how my settings were that I just got done showing you. As you can see in the gameplay that I just got done showing you, that my gun sensitivity was just all over the place, which means that my aim sensitivity is too high. My scope sensitivity is just a tad high, which means I'm going to have to turn them down. Also, don't change your sensitivities too much because it will mess with your muscle memory. So just keep that in mind as well. But like I said, if you guys enjoy this kind of gameplay, make sure you hit that like and hit that subscribe for anything that comes out there new. And I will definitely see you guys on the next episode of Anthem. And adios.